All right, hello everyone. I was called to sit and do a reading, and the reading is called, they gave me the title, it's called The Path Will Always Lead Back to You. All right, so let's see what they want to say about that. Okay, I have 3 cards. 3 cards? 4 cards. 4 cards. The path will always lead back to you. All right. The Moon, the Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Strength card. Wow. 4 major arcana cards. This is quite quite the reading so far. Okay, so the path will always lead back to you. We start here with intuition, the moon, the unknown, right? So I feel like we're going to talk, this is kind of the path. So we're starting with the unknown, and we're told to follow our intuition. That's standard in this work, right? So we don't know what's ahead. We don't know what our purpose is. We don't know anything. Everything's unknown. It's very uncomfortable. We don't like that. But we're told to just trust our intuition, right? Let go of all illusion and trust our intuition, right? So then we have the Hierophant, which is, spirituality, knowledge, and it's about learning. It's about learning these things, right? So this is a pretty standard path that people take when doing this type of work, right? Healing work or energy work or spiritual work or whatever you want to call it, self-improvement work, whatever you want to call it. So everything's unknown. We need to trust our intuition to guide us through the illusion. And we do that by following this path of spirituality and seeking knowledge and seeking, lessons, spiritual lessons. The Hierophant is like a teacher, seeking out gurus and that kind of stuff, right? So that's a pretty typical path that most of us take. Whether it's you're reading books or you're watching videos or listening to podcasts, or you're actually seeing a Hierophant of some sort in person, or if it's the church or the clergy or whatever. That's kind of standard. I'm just going to say that's a standard path is what I'm hearing, right? Enter the Wheel of Fortune. Okay? So the Wheel of Fortune is about destiny, right? It's about destiny unfolding and divine timing. And, things can take a sudden turn, in one direction or the other. That's how life works. So, we're on this path, everything's going well, and then we hit the Wheel of Fortune phase of the path, right? Where we're coming to a place of understanding that there is divine timing at play. There is a divine plan at play, okay? So that's where we get to from doing this. That's what I'm hearing. And then fortitude, okay? Vitality, courage, and this is the Strength card. So this is where we come to a place of understanding that our strength is in our compassion, not in our ability to dominate anybody else's will, but in our ability to receive all, right? Adaptability and courage. It's our ability to allow and receive. Allow and receive. That's all that wants to come. All right. So this is the path that's leading back to you. Because this is you. This strength, this person who is calm, centered, unafraid, and leads with their compassion versus their fear and judgment. Okay? All right. Okay, they want me to look at the numbers. So this is, what is this? This is 8, I think. 18, I mean. Yeah, that's 18. And this is 5, right? So this is 185. They want me to look in this book. So 185. What does this say? I assume complete responsibility for my personal freedom. Interesting. I assume complete responsibility for my personal freedom. I feel like that's this part of the path. The first part of the path, when you're learning all this stuff, what you're learning is to assume complete responsibility for your personal freedom. You learn and you start to understand that, you know, your mind is your most powerful friend, but also, you know, it's like the 8 of Swords cards. They're showing the 8 of Swords cards where, you know, it's your mind that entraps you, right? You're always free. It's just what your mind tells you. It might tell you you're not sometimes. But so you assume complete responsibility for your personal freedom. That's what's happening in this stage of the path and this learning. And that's what the, you know, spiritual teachings are teaching you. You know, you have free will. You have choice. You are completely responsible for your personal freedom. No one can take that away from you. Even if they locked you up in a jail, you have freedom of thought. Okay? And that's kind of what I'm seeing here, right? So it's interesting. And we could go on and on about that, and we can debate that and whatever, but that's not for us to do here. That's what you do in this part of the path. Okay? So you may have been doing that already. And you may have come to this conclusion that you can now assume complete responsibility for your personal freedom. Now we're going to look at these numbers. This is a 10 and that is an 8. So 18. Let's see what's in this book. I claim my empowerment by recognizing I am responsible for and free to make my own decisions. Wow. That really goes well together, right? That's really, really cool how that came out. So this part of the path is where you come to the conclusion that you will assume complete responsibility for your personal freedom. So you're saying, I'm going to take responsibility for my personal freedom. I'm going to master my thoughts. I'm going to master my emotions. I'm going to master my will, you know, and that's the Wands card. And then I'm going to master my physical experience. So those are the 4, right? You have your mind, your heart, your emotions, the will, which is the Wands, and the Pentacles, which is the physical world. So that's what you're doing in this part. So then we come to here and it says, I claim my empowerment. So here you're empowering yourself by assuming complete responsibility for your personal freedom. Here, I claim my empowerment by recognizing I am responsible for and free to make my own decisions, right? And that brings us to the Strength card for sure. So even though, and so first they want me to talk about this card. This is the Destiny card, right? And we talked about that destiny, divine plan, divine timing. So it might feel like it's out of your control when you know, so we kind of have to marry these two where it's like, I'm responsible for myself, for my choices, for my decisions, for my personal freedom. And I'm free to make choices. But there is a divine plan and divine timing and a destiny that I can choose at any time. Or I can choose to resist it, or I can choose to work against it, or I can, you know, whatever. But it's always your choice, right? So this is where you become empowered to know, like, if I want this, I can have it. If I've changed my mind since I designed this with the divine, I can change my mind, right? So I think the fear that we experience, because this is about, you know, where you've come to a place where you're not working from fear and judgment. The fear and judgment is when you're not taking responsibility for yourself and for your freedom and for your free will, right? And so when you get to here, you understand that you have free will and everyone has free will. These lions have free will, you have free will. And what you come to realize is that when you act from a place of personal empowerment, and you truly know and believe that you are safe no matter what, that you are eternal no matter what, that you are, no matter what happens, you're going to be fine, right? Even if you pass in this lifetime, right? There's a new life waiting for you after that. So you are eternal. You are eternal light. There is nothing that can destroy you, I think, is what you need to, where you come to here. Because how would you stand between these two lions so gracefully and be okay with that, right? You need to be 100% okay and know that you are fine no matter what, is what I'm hearing. You're okay no matter what, right? And that is that is who you're meant to be. Unafraid. Unafraid to stand there naked as she is, with threats around you, and just stand there in that strength. Because you understand that everything is by your design. You created it. You are the creator. All right. I know this is kind of, it's difficult. I'm even having a difficult time with it. I keep hearing these arguments in my head. Yeah, but. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, but. Easier said than done. Yeah, but. So they want me to get one of these cards. This is the secret language of light. Let's see what comes out of this deck to help maybe with those yeah buts. Here we go. You are the universe. Okay. Yeah, but you are the universe. Okay. You are the universe. Let's see what this card says. Know the self and know the nature of everything. You are you, and yet you are also the universe. Just like you, the universe is a living entity. It is not a thing or person that knows everything. It is growing, moving, and reaching forward to experience life in new ways. Wherever or whenever you are, you will always recognize yourself, and you will always exist. That's what I'm saying, that knowing that you're eternal, right? Play with the idea that the universe, in all of its manifestations, peers out through you. Okay, so it's not you observing the universe is observing the universe through you. So that's kind of interesting. It mingles and joins with your energy to see the world through your uniqueness and expands as you do. You are the pioneer of this universal frontier, and the universe needs you to know it in all its forms. If you believe everything is separate, you will want a guide, angel, light being, someone or something outside of you who sees you to show you the way. However, everything is as one and nothing is separate, so nothing is on the outside looking in. The universe sees wonderment through your eyes, and you see wonderment in the universe. Become your own authority. Choose to feel good by discovering what makes you laugh, you love, and you enjoy. Focus on this and you will create similar manifestations, and whatever you don't focus upon will fall away from lack of attention. Okay. Okay, the 29. Gonna look at the 29. Am I looking at 29 or 529? 29 first, then 529. Okay. So 29 says, I find stimulation and support for my spiritual journey in my relationships. Okay, 529. Now, 529. When relationship patterns shift at a deep spiritual level, I remain strong as my resistance resolves into karmic healing. That's pretty cool. All right. Not to expand on that, I'm not to try to say anything. You can rewind and listen to that again if you know, I think there's a lot being said there that maybe you might need to listen to that a couple times to hear it all, what's being said. What else do you want me to do, if anything? Any other cards? Another card from the light language book or whatever thing? No. Another card from the first deck. Okay. So one more of these. Keep going. There was like 4 cards that came out. They want just one to come out clearly. Okay, there it is. 6 of Cups. Serenity and healing. There we go. Okay, let's see what this book says. You want me to read from the book for this one, 6 of Cups. Serenity and healing. Okay, let's find the cups in here. Here we go. The 6 of Cups is a beautiful card that indicates you are appreciating all that life has to offer, feeling at home with the way life is flowing for you. This is a time of optimism and innocence. Your energy is overall enthusiastic and you should feel renewed emotionally. The sweetness of this card is reflective of your inner child. Remember the wonder for even the simplest things to explore on Earth, when anything was possible and the future was an endless adventure. Reconnect with this version of yourself. Give yourself permission to play. Explore and live with spontaneity. The 6 of Cups can also refer specifically to people and your ability to leave an impact on them with your kindness and care. You have the potential to make people feel secure and loved. Okay, so now they want me to look at the 296. 296. I invoke blessing, healing, and protection so that forgiveness can create peace in my relationships. Interesting. I have been asked to just read from these books and not expand on them, so I'm just going to say interesting. Now they want me to look at the 692. They said do the reverse, do the reverse. Okay, so 692. I lovingly release my attachment to certain people, allowing Spirit to show me when further work is needed and when our spiritual contract is fulfilled. Whew, that one, I felt that one. That one makes me sad. For someone, I don't know if that's my emotion or if someone that's reading this, watching this, felt sad by that, but it made me feel sad. Okay, I'm not supposed to, I'm not interpreting, they say. Just read what I'm guided to read. So I'm just resisting interpreting anything for anyone. Is there anything else you want me to know, do, see, feel, hear, read? There's one more thing. Okay. What is it? Put this down here. Okay. What is it that you want me to do next? Something about this You Are the Universe card. With the 8? Okay, the 298. Okay. I hear this is the last thing. Okay. I invoke blessing, healing, and protection to bring mutual empowerment and emotional fulfillment to my relationships. Okay, that was the last thing. I'm not to interpret any of the things that I've read. They're for you to hear and interpret however you choose. You might want to rewind and watch it again because I'm hearing there's a lot in here that was read to you. There's a lot. So take your time, listen to it, and see what it says to you. All right? I'm going to leave it there. Bye-bye.